Yo guys, BFViking here, and today I've decided to take a walk down memory lane and go back and play some Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 for me was the game that started my whole love for the Battlefield franchise all the way back in 2011, so I have been a Battlefield fan for quite some time now. But anyways, that is not the point. The point of today's video is to go back and look at probably the most used and the most loved weapon in entire Battlefield history, and that is the M16A3, the gun that everybody used and abused the hell out of back in the day, and most people even went as far to master this gun, meaning to get 500 kills with it. So, the M16A3, where do I begin? Well, when you first load up Battlefield 3, the very first gun that you're going to get for the assault class is the M16A3, at least for the US faction, and for a starter weapon, this gun is absolutely godly. The rate of fire could absolutely melt people in close range, the hip fire on this thing was amazing, and the range and accuracy lets you get kills at quite far range, and on top of all of that, the reload speed on this thing is absolutely nuts, all around making a super powerful assault rifle. And unlike many other weapons, the M16A3 was pretty much a perfect choice for any situation. Doesn't matter if you're in close quarters, long range, or whatever, the M16 was pretty much the gun that could do it all. Bear in mind though, it could do it all, but it could do nothing perfectly. See, the M16A3 was good at everything. Where you took it, it would not lack, but it wouldn't dominate either. For example, an SMG like the MP7 would always win against the M16A3 when in extreme close range, and at long range, a DMR like the SKS would always win against you, so you kinda had to pick your battles carefully with this weapon. But the fact that the M16A3 was the perfect bridge between an SMG and a long-range weapon like a DMR, that is what made this weapon so goddamn popular. Another variant of the M16 was also available in Battlefield 3, and what's better than the M16? More M16s, right? Well, no, not really. The M16A4 variant was basically just the M16A3, but instead of it being fully automatic, it had a burst fire mode, which some people argue is better as it was easier to control and a little bit more accurate, but that really just isn't the case, as you were at a complete loss when it comes to close quarters battles, which is where this weapon was most effective anyways. So, as the life cycle of Battlefield 3 went on, DICE decided to give the M16A3 a little bit of a nerf to make the other guns for the assault class a more viable option. What DICE decided to do was to give the M16A3 a little bit more vertical recoil and a little bit more bullet spread, which people at the time were really mad about, as everybody just loved using and abusing the M16A3. But once the patch arrived, it really didn't have any big effect on the weapon whatsoever. People still kept using it as if nothing happened, seeing how insignificant the nerf was. So with pretty much everybody and their pet cat using the M16A3, DICE decided not to add the M16A3 into Battlefield 4. Although there were many rumors, leaks, and even teases from DICE, it unfortunately never seen the light of day. Although we did have our favorite M16A4, which nobody loves, but by Battlefield 4, the assault class was a far more balanced class than it was in Battlefield 3, as pretty much every weapon in BF4 kind of has its own use, and people started using the different weapons much more than they did in Battlefield 3, and plus, people kind of discovered that the Ace 23 was pretty much the M16A3 of Battlefield 4. So guys, there we have it, probably the most loved, most used, and over-abused weapon in Battlefield history. For this video, I was thinking of doing the M1911, but I mean, pretty much every FPS game has the M1911, and the M16A3 is just more of a legacy in Battlefield 3. So hopefully next year's Battlefield game is going to be Bad Company 3, and fingers crossed we might see the M16A3 finally return. That would be freaking awesome. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, you already know what to do. Leave a like. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next Battlefield video.